This is Laura, the library lady, and in this episode I will be talking about the book Goodbye Tonsils. This book is by Greg Hatkoff and Juliana Hatkoff. Believe it or not, they are father and daughter. What a great way to spend time with your child, writing a book. And it's illustrated by Marilyn Metz. I had my tonsils out when I was 6 years old, and this book was first published in 1978. It was a Golden Books. Some of you, like me, may remember Golden Books. They were short, they fit well with little hands, and they were wonderful books. So, this is a great book. I got online. You know me, I'm always researching the authors. Craig Hatkoff has been publishing and writing books for years, and this one he did with his daughter. And you can go on the website and look up information about him, mainly him, and some information about his daughter. Now, Marilyn Metz, the illustrator, I found a lot of information about her, and always with illustrators, it's so interesting, many of them become writers. So she has written a series of her own books. Also, Goodbye Tonsils. This is a re-release of the book because when it was released in 1978, you know, the reason why they do new editions, and this is true with What Mary Jo Shared, which was released in first published in 1965, is they update the illustrations. They use the style. So, 1978, the kids are wearing clothes that they can identify with, but it's 2013. This book, I think, was re-released in 2002. So what happens is everything begins to look outdated. There may be technology in the book that's outdated. I remember I had a book I had to get rid of because I had typewriters. Even my high school students didn't know what a typewriter was. So books need to be updated. Sometimes the language needs to be updated. Sometimes the illustrations need to be updated. So, or it's just made to look more modern. Because sometimes little kids, they don't like to look at stuff that's old. Me, I don't mind, but we're dealing with kids here. So, what I love about Goodbye Tonsils is that if you go online and you look it up, there are so many children's hospitals that have this book on their recommendation list for reading books for your children. There's actually information about how to help your preschool child and your elementary school child deal with the stress of having surgery. I remember when I had to have my tonsils out, I was very scared, but one of the things that gave me comfort is to know I was going to have ice cream and jello after my surgery. Many children are afraid to be in the hospital by themselves. At least when I had my tonsils out, I know I spent a few days in the hospital. That's very difficult for children. They can be afraid of the dark. They can be afraid of strangers. They could be definitely afraid of needles, which I can't blame them for that. They can be afraid of pain. So there's a lot of possible fear that your child can be experiencing if you have a child that has to have a surgery. And healthcare is something that you know, every parent should be very concerned about, and have a great pediatrician, and prenatal care, of course. But using books to help you and your child through this a bit stressful situation can be very helpful. And so this is just one of the books. So anytime you have a child that has to go through surgery, ask them about books that you can share. This book is actually good for 3 to probably 10-year-olds, but as far as reading level, I would say at least if a child was to read this book by themselves, the reading level is kind of high. I would say at least 1st to 2nd grade because there's a lot of details in this book. So this is a pre-published book. I don't know how I got so many of these. I've been a librarian a long time. So I used to have access to pre-published books, and I used to get these books for free. We were asked to look over them and give them our opinion, any feedback. So sometimes publishers will have a group of people and they'll ask for feedback. So this book is a pre-publication. It doesn't have a, it's not bound. So the pages can come out very easily. So this is a book that I would use with children, but I would not allow children to handle this book because it's going to fall apart. And I have not bound it. So let's jump right in. Let's see. I'm going to read one page. This is the little girl with her mother. She's going to see the doctor. In October, my throat still hurt. We went back to see Dr. Ward again. He told us that the only way to make my throat feel better was to take out my tonsils. This meant that I would have to go to the hospital and have an operation. Sometimes kids have to stay overnight in the hospital, but I wouldn't. I could have the operation and come home the same day. Dr. Ward explained that I would be asleep and wouldn't feel anything during the operation. When I woke up, my throat would feel sore and it would be hard to swallow for a couple of days. But he said I would also get to eat all the ice cream I wanted. Even though I love ice cream, I was scared. Okay, so the ice cream thing hasn't changed. So that's good. Kids love ice cream. So you see the little girl here with her mother, and she has her rabbit, and you see Dr. Ward. So this is very important that, there are books about all kind of things that can help you with your child. And if you as a parent don't know how to discuss it, you can definitely go to the librarian and ask her, do you have books about this or that? You can look on the internet. But this is a great way for you and your child to sit down and read the book together. And if they're a young child, you as a parent will have to do the reading. If they're a little older, they can read it to you. But since having a surgery or operation is very stressful for everyone, it's really good to take the time and talk about it. Because the more you talk about it with the child, the calmer you are, the more calm your child is going to be, and the more calm you're going to be. So you can get this at Barnes & Noble. I've seen it on Amazon.com. And of course, my favorite place to get a book, you've got it at your public library. Great book, highly recommend it. And thanks everyone for tuning in. And I had my tonsils out, and guess what? I still love ice cream. All right, thank you.